Today, our journey begins in China's Kubukti Desert, a place people once didn't simply call a desert, they called it the Sea of Death. Because here, life didn't disappear overnight, it slowly faded away. Every single year, nearly 500,000 acres of fertile land vanished beneath endless waves of sand. Farms disappeared, trees died, families abandoned their homes. All that remained was burning wind, towering sand dunes, and an eerie silence that whispered only one thing: life was losing the battle. But the most terrifying part, the desert wasn't standing still. It kept expanding, year after year. Another 500,000 acres disappeared. Entire villages, roads, farmland were swallowed by sand. This silent process has a name: desertification. Where life once existed, only desert remains. And Kubukti became one of the world's most frightening examples. China refused to surrender. Millions of dollars were invested, trees were planted, sand control stations were built, large environmental projects were launched. But nothing seemed to work. No matter how hard they tried, the desert kept winning. It looked impossible to stop. Then, one man stepped forward. His name was Wang Wenbiao. People thought he was crazy. He invested his entire savings, borrowed money, and brought more than 100 bulldozers and 300 workers into the desert. For nearly 18 hours every day, they worked without stopping. Instead of fighting the desert directly, they covered the sand with dry shrubs, creating thousands of small square grids. Inside every square, they planted willow trees, not ordinary trees. Willows can send their roots hundreds of feet underground, searching for hidden water, where almost nothing else can survive. But another enemy remained: the wind. Powerful desert winds buried young trees and stole every drop of moisture from the soil. So Wang created another simple solution. The shrubs protected the young trees from direct wind, locking moisture into the ground. Sometimes, the biggest solutions begin with the smallest ideas. People laughed. They called him insane. Planting trees inside a desert? Impossible. But Wang never stopped. Year after year, some trees survived. Their roots reached deep underground, and slowly, the moving sand began to slow down. For the first time, the impossible looked possible. Then came another unexpected problem. The trees needed constant pruning. Without removing their young branches, they would never grow strong. Doing this by hand, across thousands of acres, would cost a fortune. Then came an idea no one could have imagined: rabbits. These weren't ordinary rabbits, they were Rex rabbits, known around the world as white gold. Their incredibly soft fur can sell for around $30, while raising one costs only about $2. But their true value had nothing to do with money. Rex rabbits love eating young willow shoots. As they naturally trimmed the trees, the trunks became stronger, thicker, and healthier. The work humans struggled to do, the rabbits did for free. But the surprises didn't stop there. Their manure became rich natural fertilizer. Dead soil slowly came back to life. Even more incredible, the rabbits couldn't fully digest grass seeds. Those seeds returned to the soil, and new grass began to grow. Nature started healing itself. Moisture returned. The wind weakened. The sand stopped moving. And within a few years, the Sea of Death began turning green. The transformation wasn't only environmental, it changed people's lives. Families began raising rabbits, fur became income, trees provided new resources. People who once fled the desert returned home. Hope had finally come back. But Wang wasn't finished. In the middle of the desert, he built one of the world's most extraordinary solar farms, nearly 196,000 solar panels, forming the shape of a giant running horse. Every year, it generates 2.3 billion kilowatt-hours of clean electricity, enough to power around 400,000 people. But these panels do more than generate electricity. They reduce wind speed by nearly 50%. They create shade. Grass grows beneath them. Rabbits, sheep, and ducks return. Technology and nature working together. Today, this model is inspiring countries across Africa, Spain, and the Middle East. The greatest lesson isn't about desserts, it's about believing in an idea, even when everyone laughs at you. because history has shown us something remarkable. Before every great success, someone was called crazy. The only question left is, will you give up or keep going?